Yes, my people. It's your boy Beach,
It's your boy Seb.
and it's another episode of Blocks of Bags, your weekly show where you can pick up all news for creators, for business, and for tech. This week, Seb, what's been going on?
Ooh, it's been a very busy week. As you can see, we've been lining up the guests, special guests. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This week, we've just started shooting a documentary. Keeping it under wraps for now, but we got to witness the To My Sisters sold out event in Hackney Empire. We just came back from Birmingham for another sold out event with Treasure Chest, another black owned startup within the kind of community. Created a partnership with them and To My Sisters. And it was just like a beautiful event to see both media and experiences coming together. And today we've got a very, very, very special guest that we're so excited to have on the show.
Mr. BrickzWithTipz, welcome to the show.
Yo, what's going on, people? You good?
If you don't know who he is a pioneer and a leader in breaking down ways that you can get on the property ladder, ways that you can build wealth for yourself. Tayo and his team, his wife, and the network, they have spent the last couple of years entertaining us, informing us, edutainment, really and truly. They edutain so hard that they're now on Channel 4 regularly.
Award-winning as well.
You know, it's an honor to have him on the show. You may have noticed him on the Fly on the Wall doc that we did for UK Black Business Show launch when Lavantel chatted to him and his wife. Have we done your intro justice?
You have, man. You done brilliantly, man. I feel blessed to be in you guys' presence, man. I'm looking forward to today.
So we had a little pre-walk and chat before coming here. We had a little sandwich, a little coffee, a little juice. You have obviously got a few different things you're doing. Now, look, we're in a place where in the economy there's inflation, there's people losing jobs, there's redundancies,
interest rates,
but there are opportunities every day. We went to a talk, an event you did a couple months ago at Daily Paper. Shout out to my boy Toby, Trends of Fees, and Isaac over there. Lovely black-owned business, and you did a real talk that kind of works with our brand. It felt like it was a block-inspired concept.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? But you literally gave people brick by brick, play by play, things they needed and brought the all-stars out.
Yeah.
That felt like a really good special moment. There was DJ, there was food, and more importantly, there was great conversation and plays you could have. I've noticed you take that on, and you've obviously now done a community where people are now supporting each other and finding deal flow, and they're also getting their steps in the ladder. I just want to start with a bit of a confidence for someone listening right now who may not see getting into property as something viable with them because of their credit or their current job situation. Like, just how small of a ticket, or what kind of first step can someone take in the next 6 months if they want to get their foot in that conversation and in that world?
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, right? Because if we're talking numbers, buying property or getting on a property ladder has become more difficult. And that's just naturally with inflation, your money buys you less, and so on and so forth. However, there's a degree where it's got easier. And this is where our platform, BrickzWithTipz, comes in, because we truly believe that the education that you get around property can bridge the gap where you don't have the money. And what I mean by that is that when we first started property, we had to do it all ourselves and learn all ourselves, basically. And I can honestly say that if we started again, we would have much more success in property with the education that's available today. So anybody that's looking to get started in property in the next 6 months, you definitely can. You can actually get started in money with nothing, basically, because you can find certain property deals that only take your labor and only take your time and sell it on to investors. Now, some of you may be listening thinking, what do you mean investors? I don't have investors, so on and so forth, basically. The next thing is networking. You can network and find investors. If you find a deal that's good enough, you can reach out to me and I can find an investor to buy it off you within the next 24 hours. Sometimes I say to people, I give a ridiculous example on purpose, but you may say that you have no investors, right? Or you don't know where to sell deals. But if you had, or you don't know where to raise money from, if there was a property that is listed in Southeast London, a house, and it was listed for 1 million, and then by some virtue, the vendor said, do you know what, just for you, I'll give it to you for 500k. With no experience in property, do you reckon you could raise the 500,000 or find an investor to take that on?
Yes.
Definitely, because there's 500k equity in it. And that's the kind of mindset that people need to get into, basically, whereby once there's enough value in the deal, you will be able to sell it or be able to find an investor that can bring you the money. And then hopefully after a while, with education, you can get an investor to give you the money so you can act on the deal and give the investor their return, basically. So yeah, I definitely think there's enough education out there for people that want to get started in property. And it's even a great time. With the interest rates going up, like you mentioned, Seb, it gives an excellent chance for opportunity. Now, what I mean by opportunity, you may look at it different ways, right? Because what I mean by opportunity is that there's a lot of people who may have bought buy-to-let properties ages ago and they've been very passive with them. They haven't attended to their mortgages. They haven't got market rate on their rent. And you know what? They're thinking that, you know what, property isn't for me anymore. And they want to exit the market. Now, a lot of the time, there's a deal to be had there. But we need to always remember, when a deal is being had, both parties are getting something they want. The buyer of the deal might be getting it a little bit below market value. And then the person that's selling the property, they want to get rid of the property anyway. So you're both serving each other, basically. So there is opportunity for people that want to get in right now.
Okay, and at Blocks to Bags, we love to talk about things in terms of assets and asset classes. We've talked about stocks and shares. We've talked about stuff like gold, equities and startups, and then property, one of the oldest assets that exists, you know. What got you into property and why did you choose property as the kind of asset class to be an expert in? Because it seems like you're at the forefront of this kind of property thing.
I wouldn't say I'm at the forefront of property, but it is something that I do have a passion for letting the community know about. And the way I got into it actually was that I used to like cars in university, and me and all of my boys did as well. So like every year we used to like upgrade our cars, like
Nice.
someone get a Golf, someone get a BMW, someone else get a BMW, someone get a Merc, so on and so forth, basically. And that was kind of our vibe. But I was an economics student, and you quickly learn that, listen, this thing is every single time I sell it and buy a new one, I've lost 2-3 grand in the process, basically. So it was like, when I come out, I'm gonna buy an asset, something that goes up in value. And obviously, by picking which asset to buy or what to go into, we all lived in properties in university. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I used to learn a little bit of game from my landlord as well. I'm thinking, this guy's renting out to me and all the people that live in the house. He's making bread off this. And he's got several properties in the area as well. On top of that, with property, it's got 2 ways it can make you income: capital appreciation and your rental income. And then it also serves as a home and an investment. And all these things kind of added up. I think one of the things I liked about it as well is that when you're young and you've got money, you leak money. What I mean by that is that you spend it here, you spend it there, like having like 15,000 cash, like
We know about £2,000 night.
you leak money basically. And I knew that definitely in it. And I used to like to spend money. I won't lie, I used to like to spend money. Everybody does, innit?
Yeah.
And what property does is that some people don't like property for this reason, but I like it. I like the fact that it's illiquid. It crystallizes your money. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I've put it in there, it's crystallized, and not only is it crystallized, it's earning more money. In fact, that's one of the reasons I used to like to buy cars as well. Because when I used to work and make money and hustle and whatnot, once again, you're leaking money. But if you buy a car, even though it's losing value, it's crystallized to some extent, if that kind of makes sense. So property just made a lot of sense for me.
I love that. And so you said you finished uni, you got into the property game, you kind of got some game from your landlord. Did you get your first property? Did you buy a property first, or did you get into the business of property? Like, because there seems to be like 2 different things here, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah. So right now we're seeing a lot of property investment and property businesses. And a lot of people, when you were mentioning about people getting started in property, that's the great thing. A lot of people can get started in property businesses. So that could be things like deal sourcing, or rent to rent, where you rent a property from a landlord and then you put it on serviced accommodation or temporary accommodation or supported living, and you make the money in between. These are property businesses, and then you can use the income from that to actually invest in property and buy your own properties and build equity effectively. I bought my property first.
Okay.
However, what I will say is that if I could go back in time, I don't
Yeah.
have any regrets, but I would do things differently.
Okay.
I'd probably run a property business.
First.
Yeah. Property business, because you start out early. I'll probably be able to start earlier. I probably could have started a property business whilst in university, because in university we were running up and down trying to make any pound.
Yeah.
And
We had time as well.
we had
Like,
time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I probably would have started a property business in university and then been able to kill it from there. And when I come out of uni, but yeah, I bought my first property. I actually bought a home, and then people have heard this story a million times, but I bought a home and rented out the rooms in the house
okay.
to make an income. It effectively meant I wasn't paying a mortgage on my property from day one.
That is literally just such a growth hack in life as well. I'm not gonna lie to you, like,
it is. And I always say to people, I mean, you're in the same.
Yeah, like that.
You're in the same boat as me. I always say to people,
I'm not in that boat.
Yeah. But you're in the same boat as me, because I say to people, rent out a room. If you're intending to have a family at some point,
Yeah.
or even just live with your girl, not your family, it's gonna be, you're not gonna be able to rent out a room while you're living with your girl. It doesn't really, it doesn't bode well. It's a little bit. So while it's just you, bro, rent out a room, because eventually you're gonna have a family and kids where you can't rent out a room. While it's just you, make some peas, make some tax-free money off that extra room in your house. That's my vibe.
Facts.
But your vibe has evolved over the years.
Ooh.
So this year, when we went to that event that we spoke about, people had loads of different plays and loads of different ways that one could get to the bag. Obviously, in the pandemic, everyone heard the term rent to rent if they weren't across it. Airbnbs are like a way people make money. Then there's also, finding ways to add value to your neighbors. So looking after things for people, being written in people's wills, or, negotiating stuff on people's behalf. Just for those that are not in the know, obviously away from getting the mortgage, what are other things that someone could practically do in 2024 in the communities that they are hustling in and living in to make money from property?
Yeah, so I always say to people that, look, everybody has to live somewhere, and you're potentially an expert in your area, basically. So what that looks like for you is that even if your parents are the ones, let's say, paying rent in the area, you know what a good rent, you know what the rental rate is, basically. So you can spot opportunities. If a landlord's put up a property that's renting for cheap, you can look at the difference between that and the market rent and think, do you know what? You could take on that property. So if a market rate is 1,600, for example, and you realise that someone's listed it for 1,300, but I can see they've listed it for 1,300 because it's a little bit dated. But all it really needs is a little sprucing from the kitchen. Okay, cool. If I put this on serviced accommodation, I might be able to make £3,000 gross from it. And then quite often times people get to a point of, all right, cool, I could put it on service accommodation, but I don't have the cash flow for that right now. So what I could do is I could just package that deal and sell it on to an investor for £3,000, and they will put it on service accommodation.
Okay.
So those are like two ways that people are getting into the property business without actually having to go out there and buy a property. And the terms that people use is that they're controlling the asset rather than actually buying the asset. But the control of the asset can bring you sufficient income so that you can go out there and start buying assets. At BrickzWithTipz, we're 100% on ownership, 100% on equity, but we fully understand that with a day job, like I speak to people that earn really, really well.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, you've bought your first property, congratulations. Your plan is to buy a second property. You need 25% deposit. The property that you're looking at is 300k. So you're going to need 75k plus stamp duty plus fees, blah, blah, blah. After that, you might need about 100k cash.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, £1,200 savings per month is excellent. But we're going to need a little bit more. So we talk about other things that you could do through running a property business. Now, the key thing about running a property business is that not only are you earning an income through property, you're also increasing your ability to analyze deals, your ability to negotiate. Because remember, you're doing all of these things while you're sourcing deals and selling them, or while you're running a rent-to-rent property, you're getting all of that knowledge and education as a byproduct, so that when you finally do raise that money, it's like you're only getting the best deals, basically. You know how to negotiate aggressively and be in equity straight away when you buy a property. So yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people are looking into.
Yeah, makes sense. Tell us about the community people can join.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got a few, man.
We like giving people things they can take away right now.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you how they came about. So by virtue of we run BrickzWithTipz, which is a platform that primarily helps people get on the property ladder and learn about property as a whole. And we felt like we had that covered for first-time buyers, but naturally a lot of people want to make money off property. So we've got one element which is our community called the SA Winner Circle. SA stands for Service Accommodation, and that's a specific community around service accommodation, Airbnb, putting properties on Airbnb, Booking.com, Verbo, Google vacation rentals, effectively. And what that property is specifically for people that own properties or people that want to learn about how to rent a property off a landlord, take it under their control and then put it on Airbnb and make a profit on it. And typically people make anything between about £750 to £1,500 per month. If we do an average of like 1,000, you get 10 properties in your portfolio, you could be making 10k profit per month basically. And people in our group, I mean, a lot of people join in our group when they just start, and it's excellent to see the journey of people that have just started, get their first property, get their second property, and some people are doing exceptionally well, making a lot more than that £1,500 a month as well.
Give us an example.
We've got a Ghanaian. I don't know if I'm gonna.
No, you can't do names. You don't have to do names.
Yeah. We got a brother that got.
I want to celebrate. I want to do some gunshots.
We got a brother that's got a property in Canary Wharf. He got it set up about a month and a half ago, and he just got a long-term booking from a corporate that's taking him all the way up to Christmas. So I think he messaged me recently. I think it's like 20k gross that he's got that's just covering up him up to Christmas for one property. So yeah, man, it's lit, and that's one thing that we promote as well.
That's real impact, brother.
Yeah, we show people how to get long-term bookings as well, because you see what it is when someone does a long-term booking on a nightly rate, it just pays dividends basically. And then the second thing we've got is something that people asked us a lot of is, how do I get into property investing? And that question, it used to. It's a difficult question because it's so vast. Like we spoke about property investing, there's so many things you could do in property investing, basically. Yeah. How do I get into property investing? How do I get into property investing? Like sometimes I used to ask them, what are your goals in property? Do you want to retire early? Do you want to replace your income so you can leave work today? Yeah. Do you want to just leave something for your kids? So many different goals. So with that one, we collaborated with some of my good friends, Carlton and Clinton from Videm Property. They've been running a property investment training program for about 7 years. Myself and Antoinette, we collaborated with them, kind of tweaked the package, and we formed a new training program effectively. It's a 2-day program, comes with a 16-hour online course, and it comes with 1 year mentorship as well. So yeah, that's the property investing program. So if you're interested, hit me up, property investing program. If you're interested in SA Winner Circle, just message me in the DMs, say SAWC.
We love it. And you mentioned Antoinette, and that's one thing that I kind of wanted to touch on was building a business and a platform with your partner. Like, how has that experience been like for you? What kind of brought it together? Who was
mother of your kids?
Yeah, like it's the dream. From the outside, it looks like the kind of dream, right?
It's hard work though, isn't it? Like I think that, and I'd say it's been especially hard for Antoinette, because what a lot of people don't know is that BrickzWithTipz started end of 2019. Yeah, let's just call it the beginning of 2020. Yeah, my daughter was born at the end of 2020, so. The beginning of BrickzWithTipz, Antoinette was pregnant for the majority of it.
Okay.
And then my second daughter was born in 2022. So Antoinette has actually been pregnant and or on maternity leave for the majority of BrickzWithTipz, which a lot of people don't know. So it's been quite difficult when it comes to like events that she can make and so on and so forth. And even still now, like our youngest is now 1 year old, one and a bit. And I always say to people that we use our babysitting tokens for work. We haven't even got a chance to be able to use them for a date night or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Because where we both get called for work is part of that business. We have to use those babysitting tokens for that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, it's hard, but it's good, man. It's good, man. We're going. We knew October was going to be busy, so we had a look at the October diary. Like, so we booked a family holiday for November. So we're going away in a couple of weeks. Nice little Tenerife trip. It's going to be our first holiday with the family. It's nuts because we've been away a few times without the kids. We leave there with the grandparents. But this one we're taking the kids, so yeah, it should be good.
They call that fruit of your labour.
Yeah,
man, it's important to enjoy.
Facts.
Now, when we had our chat, we were talking about being seen as someone more than just property. So there's something amazing from locking in a niche, dominating in a space, building yourself to a space that you're now on TV, you're now doing national things. But you're a man who's got a history outside of this, you know? So we mentioned banking before, you're obviously a father. What are some things that you're interested in bringing out in the world or having been part of conversations in 2024, 2025? Yeah, tell us about some of the other things that pique your interest. So for me, for example, I love business, but if someone gets real close to me, they know I love nature, adventure, they know I like boxing, and I'm a big like community gatherer, and I'll do that for free, just I enjoy it, and I have so many random stats on random things.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, man. But yeah, are you interested in like, yeah, just tell us a bit more about stuff outside the property world.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of impact in it, and I'm a big fan of helping young people in it, because I know the impact of influencing young people early and getting them to them early, basically, and giving them the tools and even the confidence that they need to have to be successful, basically. So some of the things I'm interested in is, obviously, I used to be in banking. I'm very interested in discussing about how to move within your career.
Yeah.
I think I learned that early, how to deal with corporates, how to build skills so that you could earn more. I'm a big believer in teaching young people how to be confident and how to communicate better as well. It's so crazy that I'm a strong believer that communication is 80% of the game when it comes to anything. Or being knowing how to talk to people, how to even not even necessarily get information from people, but just everything about conversations, basically. You need to be able to do it. And I learned it in the corporate world as well. Like certain times I used to sit my job and like, this thing is 70% talking to people. Like if I know how to ask someone the answer in the right way, then all I need to do, you know what I'm trying to say, is all communication. So like even with like my younger cousins, I'm like, sometimes I bring them out with me and just encourage them to like come out of their comfort zone. Like being shy, it just is a hindrance at this point. You know what I'm trying to say, especially in the world that we live in today, and that goes across everything I do as well. It's like I mentioned the property investment training program that we do and the SA Winner Circle. We encourage people, and it's crazy because culturally, before we didn't used to tell people what we do, right? But now I'm a very big believer in tell people what you do because it promotes networking and you show people exactly what you said in it. And one question I get a lot as well is that, I'm on doing it, but I don't want to show my face. And it's like, bro, there's no time for that.
Even made you think did a reveal.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
M Honcho next.
Yeah,
you know?
literally, like K-Trap and the people like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like people need something to buy into. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, yeah, man. I'm a big believer in just like helping young people get the tools they need to succeed. And other than that, man, I'm a big family person. I love to laugh, man. That's my thing, man. That's probably one thing that people don't know about me, man.
Comedy.
In my group chats, I always say it's so bad. It's like if I know a joke is like I shouldn't be making a joke, I'll tell the joke and I'll apologize immediately after. It's like, bro, the joke has to come first. Like that's my priority.
What would you say, Seb? What are some things that outside of VC and marketing, what else do people not know about you?
Outside of VC and marketing, so I'm really into fashion.
Is it?
And I've only accepted it now because working in the world of corporate and like the way things were set before, it's like certain worlds can't collide. But now I'm telling people I'm the drippiest guy in venture capital, hands down in Europe. It's been done. So it's being able to bring certain things from home, as I call it, like where we grew up in our communities, our environment, like drip was important. Not important, but you ain't rocking around with like rusty Air Forces. You got to look good, clean, that kind of thing. So fashion and creativity has been something that I've been exploring over the last couple of years. Being a creator, getting my voice out, podcasting, this is what we're doing right now, and building like a business media network is something that I've always had my eyes set on, because I thought like the power of content in just amplifying your message, amplifying your impact is just something that we can't ignore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've always loved consuming podcasts. I'm the type of guy, like, if I love something, I'm like, why don't I just do my own?
Yeah.
Like, why don't we just like build our own sort of thing? So for me, definitely being a creator, podcasting, exploring more creative facets of my sort of personality, because growing up, it was all academic. Pressure was on, to just make sure that you perform. I did a bit of economics. I went to university. I went down that kind of the path. So for me, life is all about rediscovering the more creative side at the moment.
Yeah, that's lit, man. And I think that now's the time for it as well. I feel like you can be a creator about absolutely anything right now. The pandemic really showed that. I always tell people that I was watching videos of someone cleaning a pool.
Yeah, I saw the pool. Yo, the pool guy was hard, I'm not going to lie.
That's
crazy
That's
though,
the guy
like-
from Free Shots, isn't it?
No, it
But
was...
there's different people. But even the guy from Free Shots, Keith.
Yeah,
used
well,
to be cleaning his
oh
pool.
yeah,
Yeah,
Keith.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god,
Piano.
yeah.
He was
Yeah.
banging it out.
Nah, it's crazy. And talking about content and the kind of content that you're making, if you ain't following him on Instagram, you definitely should. And you definitely should check out some of the content and the skits and stuff that you kind of do. What's the content game been like for you, expressing your kind of creativity through that format?
Yeah, it's been a journey, man. I feel like it's a learning progress. Like, it's funny, Antoinette and I talk recently when like it's crazy because the content we're making today isn't even the content that we were making 3 months ago. Like, it's always developing because you're just learning new things.
Yeah.
And like anything, like it's important to kind of like systemize what good looks like as well, just so you can repeat it. You don't want things to be chance in it. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's kind of like you go back and you look at your content and you see what was working, so on and so forth. And one of my business partners, who I do SA Winner Circle with, called Dammy, he's got this saying, which I didn't say before, but it was what I used to think in my head. And it was like, start today, get perfect later. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that's how you just have to be with content creation, because it is a journey. I remember my first video, stuttering bare, no lighting, no audio. Bro, people were complaining about my audio on my YouTube videos for a clean like year and a half, bro.
That is called resilience.
I mean, bro, I love your videos, but you need to sort out the audio, bro. Get a mic. And these times I was getting back, so I tried them out. They were working well.
They don't know how hard it is. They don't know how hard it is to actually make the content really good.
We oh man, before we came out of this consistency, we hired like a professional videographer director, and one shoot was costing us $1,000. So you can go from one extreme to the other, and then we said, you know what? No, that's too expensive. Let's just go to a studio called Pirate, where it's mainly for DJs. You can do podcasting there, but it's like, let's podcast record there. We did bare episodes that never came out. Like the video would stop recording after, and you can't see.
Yeah.
So you have to just put the clip out, and then we start putting graphics. We went through it.
Yeah.
But
It's not
you
easy.
go through all of that.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing stuff, it looks so easy.
Yeah.
People are like, oh yeah, I could do that. You're just okay, cool, man. Try it. Get to 100 videos.
Yeah, it's
Get
so
to
true.
300. Get to 200 videos.
It's so true. It's so true. And I think that, but it's important to go through those phases as well. I often tell people that when Channel 4 first hit me and said, we think you'll be good for the show, they said that, right, cool, we need a screen test from you, which is where I go to a location and I shoot some stuff that they kind of tell me what to shoot. And it was kind of like, okay, cool, I've been recording awkwardly in a room by myself for hours on end for these YouTube videos that I've been putting out with bad sound. So when they're asking me to do this, I can do it because I've been doing it. This is what I've been training for. And especially like when you finally get on set, when you finally start recording the videos, all of a sudden you've got a director, a good camera, someone handling your audio, someone who's going to tell you like, right, your collar's up. Not the, when you're recording it yourself, you do it yourself. And then I remember, character building, I've told this story a few times as well. One time on one of my first property videos about investment, early doors with BrickzWithTipz. And this was, again, like, before I get into this, I walk through life glass half full. Like everything that goes wrong is a lesson for later.
100.
And it makes you not embrace the bad periods, but cool, I've learned something here in it. And this isn't a bad period like that, but it tells the same story. So I was recording a property investment video and I went off site to record it. So you can't just shoot it again.
Yeah.
So I went up to an area up north called Darlington with one of my boys, set up the camera.
Darlington.
Yeah, set up the camera. On the camera, I'm dropping gems, blah, 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 blah. Bear in mind, everything takes long as well nowadays. I mean, in this period, you haven't got to the concepts of being short and concise. You're not that good at editing, blah, 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 blah. So I've shot all up in Darlington, came down, spent 2 days editing. On my second day of editing, and I realized that when I'm sitting down dropping the gems, I got a booger in my nose. There's a circle, you know, the one where, and the camera's at an angle looking upwards as well. So it's like, it's not a massive one, but it's there, innit?
But I suppose it's one of those where like, at least I've got the script. Or did you just whack it out anyways?
Oh, this is it's character building. I said the content comes first. I'm here to give the people game about property. I'm not in fashion or I've got a wife already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not here to. That's not what I recorded the video for. I recorded the video and the gems was there, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
that's character building for real.
bro. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
You never made that mistake again, did you?
I never made the mistake again. Never. But then that's why in the pandemic, I don't care. Obviously, I'm not shooting a video with a booger in my nose, innit? But it allowed me to just be that stuff like that can allow you to be evergreen as well.
Absolutely.
So in the pandemic, my hair was.
Oh man, I've got all kind of hairstyles, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm shooting videos same way. You know what I'm trying to say? We're not here for looks, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? This is you come here if we want to talk something where you could actually take something away, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So
Absolutely. No, we love that. Audience, we're gonna get a masterclass from BrickzWithTipz. He has been killing it with the edutainment type content that comes across like a skit, but isn't really a skit. I noticed a couple of Americans do it, and I gave him his flowers before coming on the show, and I want to say it again on the show. Actually, like one of my favorite type of content I love seeing is where people role play scenarios and people help people learn something whilst they're being character. So I want to talk about how to raise 100K.
okay, cool. So
Because that's something I help people do all the time. I help people raise money.
yeah,
Or I help people make their first pitch presentation for 10K. Those are like two things that I can do. I do a lot. Seb, what do you want to do? Should we do?
I think the
pitching?
100K is,
Yeah,
because we
how to
listed
create a pitch.
backdrop. Our whole thing is like helping founders like raise money and stuff like that right now. And like,
Yeah.
so the first thing you want to think about is a hook, right?
Okay.
Okay.
People are very go through social media really, really quickly. They've got short attention spans in it. So you got to give people a reason to stay. So if your video is called How to Raise 100K, that's already a great title in the first instance. You guys tell me what could you do in the first 2 seconds that's going to make people think, oh, right, what's this?
maybe you can tell people we've helped 100 people raise 100K, or we've helped people raise £1 million in total, and we're going to give you the secrets. Or
Whereas I think I'm
Okay.
like, 'cause I'm doing an actual role play.
Okay,
There's gonna
cool.
be a video where I'm going to be two characters. It's like me talking to me.
Oh,
where I've
yeah,
got
cool.
sunglasses on and one that I don't have sunglasses.
okay, cool.
You're gonna
Say
do
no
the
more. Say
same.
no more. Okay, got it.
So I don't know if you want to stick with that, but for what I'm
No.
going to say to your answer, teacher, Mr. Boss, right now, I'm going to say, I'm maybe not word for word, but something along the lines of, you'll never believe it, but Michael just raised 100 bags for that business he told us about last week.
Yeah,
That's a hook. Like, you'll never believe it.
yeah. Both of them are good. Am I meant to be giving answers now?
No,
No,
up to
no,
you,
we're
up to you. But
So
like,
both of them are good. I think that for your one, have you watched Mr. Beast videos?
Yeah.
So your one would be a Mr. Beast style with the text that comes up. You know when it's one piece of text at a time. So it would say, here's how I've helped 100 people raise 100K. That's in 2 seconds.
that's your one, yeah?
So people are seeing that straight away. It's like raise 100K. I want to watch that. Anyone that's interested in with your one, you said that your one is what I would add to your one is visuals as well.
Yeah.
So if you can get prop money or whatever it may be, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Or even graphics on the screen.
100. We've got like these backdrop, like
Ticket,
invitation
yeah.
tickets.
Exactly that. Then the next thing you want to work on is you want to have your free tips to help people make raise 100K, or 2 tips basically. But with the role play, if we're talking about role play, what we want is someone that's being inquisitive about how to raise 100K, and the second person dropping game. Because the whole point about the role play videos is that the viewer is seeing themselves in the person that's being inquisitive. Because when you're putting yourself in the shoes of the viewer, it's typically someone who's interested, has an interest or in how to raise 100K, but doesn't know how to go about it. So you're going to be asking the questions that they would typically ask in it. So, Beach, how did yours start again?
So I could change it, but what I wrote down here so
We can
far,
combine as well.
I wrote hook, how to raise 100K,
Yeah.
and then I've got like roll 1, roll 2, roll 1, roll 2, roll 1, roll 2, and I'm gonna write 3 things that I think the person who's inquisitive is gonna ask, based on like what I've been asked before in the past.
Yeah.
So one is like, I think I don't even want to do 100K because that's maybe not even too practical enough, to be honest with you. Like 100K, how to raise 100K. I actually want to make it smaller, like even more smaller, to like getting
Your first.
getting my first 10K client.
Okay, so I think stay with 100K.
Stay at 100K.
Do you know why? People talk about stuff being clickbaity,
Yeah.
right? But remember, your content is to educate.
Yeah.
We just want to get people through the door. We're helping them anyway.
Yeah.
They just don't know they need to be helped at this point. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So we're going to get them through the door because the tips you are telling them is going to teach them how they can actually raise 100K. So it's not even like you're lying, but you want to use your stuff. You're not lying. It's not even that.
No, that's facts. Yeah.
It's facts, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, but you want to use the titles that is going to get enough people in through the door. The thing that the way we need to think about edutainment, is that people don't actually want to learn, but they'll be thankful for it after.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I call it the Trojan horse. We make them think they're watching an entertaining video, but by the end of the video, they're like, "Damn, these guys made me learn again." That's the thinking.
Jeez.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
It's
100%.
like, damn, these man keep making me learn. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So we bring them for an entertaining video, but they're gonna learn basically. So
So it's kind of for their own benefit,
for their
even
own
if you're
benefit.
hooking them with like these big kind of numbers and you're piquing their kind of interest, and it's something that they're gonna click on because the gems are gonna be gemming anyways. Like,
yeah, exactly that.
So what I wrote down from what you said, then I said, so in terms of how to raise your first 100K, I've got where to go. That's the first question. I'm going, where do I even go? And that person's going to say, well, you need to start with like your proposition and understanding what it is that you're giving away for your business. And then the next person, they're going, okay, cool. What do I need to make? And you say, okay, you can present this in the deck, on a website. Those are the two things. Just keep it simple. And then the third thing is like, how long should it take? And then,
so the thing I'm going to say to that is that excellent start, and this is probably where I was maybe beginning of the year.
Of course.
You have to turn that slider.
That's why we're in the masterclass.
You have to turn that slider towards entertainment more.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you've got to ginger them at the beginning a bit more with the entertainment. So yeah, man, I just raised 100K. You're lying, man. You ain't raised 100K. I swear to you, here it is here. So we're doing a little bit more of the entertainment. I swear to you, here it is here. I'm gonna use it to blah 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 blah. So, no way. How can I like? I've got an idea as well. So you're thinking where the person that's watching it as well. I've got an idea as well. How can I raise 100K? And then you kind of want to make. You see when I write out the points that's entertaining. This is the points that's educational.
Yeah.
This is probably where the hardest bit is because you need to make it as short and concise as possible.
Okay.
You need to allow it to give full information, but it needs to be not wordy. So instead of doing those points that you mention after each thing that they say, I'll spend a bit more time on the entertaining bit in the beginning. Then your guy, the guy that knows stuff, will get serious and be like, okay, first of all, you need to make a XYZ. The second of all, you need to reach out to blah, 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 blah. And then third of all, you need to blah, blah, blah. And then after that, XYZ, and then you can raise 100K, do you know what I'm trying to say? And then the person at the end will be like, all right, I'm going to try that. I'm going to get started. Maybe they ask a third question, additional. Maybe they ask a question like, can I apply these principles to 250K? And you're like, yeah, 250K, blah, 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 blah. Then they end up with, how do you know all this? And the funny thing is that the how do you know all this thing, I swear to you, I used to hate it, bro.
it looks so, I'm not gonna lie, when I see people saying like, how do you know this?
It's so funny because originally when I didn't want to make roleplay videos, I used to make videos making fun of it.
Okay.
Like one time they said, how do you know all this? One time I went, this one's for the algorithms. And then I said, I follow BrickzWithTipz on. But it's so crazy, like the followers that the followers that I get of doing that, it's so crazy that people need to be directed to where they can see more of this, basically. Yeah. Bro, like the impact of some of these roleplay videos and that kind of format. And you know me, I'm big on impacts. Bro, I've seen people through the DMs, they're opening stocks and shares ISA for their kids, bro.
That's it.
Send me a screenshot. Yeah, bro, I've done it now. They weren't and I'm not saying that my content is making everybody do X, Y, Z, but they weren't going to consider it before, bro.
Yeah.
One person at a time. You know what I'm trying to say? And if that video is what it takes for people to start investing in their kids' future, bro.
Happy days.
What I'm saying, so
what do you want to do one together?
Let's do a skit. Let's do the skit one together.
Or do you want to make your own one?
No, let's do the skit.
Yeah.
This is what we came here for.
Okay. Because that comedy angle that you mentioned
I like
is so important because it's dry humor, really and truly.
Yeah.
But cool, I just raised 100k.
Swear down.
Um,
A bit
What
of
happens after
comedy
swear down?
humor. Huh?
what happens after swear down?
What do you mean you raised 100? You asked like a funny. Could you drag on the entertaining part?
You drag on the entertaining part, and this is where I think this is what made me comfortable with doing the role play as well. Yeah, is that remember I said I love to laugh. I just be silly with it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like, there's
We'd
one
be
where I
silly all
said,
the time, yeah.
I just bought my first home, and no, someone says you just bought your first home, innit? And then I say, how do you know? And it zooms in because I'm wearing the house keys around my neck, basically, and stuff like that, basically. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's stuff, little things like that. And literally, people watch it to the end because of that.
Yeah.
Yo, maybe we can use our chains or something funny like that.
Yeah, like you don't
we
look like
could just-
wait, I can't see the 100.
I hear that. Well, hoodies and that. All right, cool. So I just raised 100k, and then I'm gonna use it. I've got an idea how to make 100k as well. So those are like elements that we've kind of written down, and I think the last bit you said I can apply these principles to 250k. So the scenario bit, what should we write for our scenario?
Raising 100k for as in
Yeah, the scenario bit as in the dry humor bit.
100k of what? Or 100k this, 100k like what do you mean 100k?
In what currency?
Like, what currency?
In what currency? No, come on, let's build
What,
it
100k
together.
naira or what?
You take it forward. I want to see you develop it.
Okay, cool. So
So 100k and
start.
what do you think we should write next?
What do you mean, bro? 100k naira or pound? Like, what are you talking about?
And then
Let's role play, innit? Say it. You say it. You say the first line. I say it, and then
you do the first time. I'll say the question back. Cause my brain is stuck on you. What to do next?
Okay.
So you say how I started.
Want to know how to raise that? What did you?
You said I just raised 100k.
I just raised 100k.
100k in what? Naira? 100k lira?
100k in pounds
All right. Show me.
for my business.
Show me.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you 3 ways of how I did it. Or
I
3
don't think we
that's
dragged it. I don't
wrong.
think we
That's
dragged it
too.
far. So maybe instead of me saying show me, I say
How? I guess how is also. How did you do it?
how did you do it? And I kind of need you to show off something that I'm like just feels a bit silly. I like the jumper thing he's got. Like you can have 100k.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you've got loads of those kind of block type t-shirts and stuff. So
Okay.
you can be wearing your 100k t-shirt.
Okay.
You can have a 100k hat.
We could stand outside of a car, bro. Like a sick whip. We could do it outside and
Like someone's
just
car.
be someone's car, someone's car, innit?
Oh, yeah, 'cause people always get like them scammy people with the cars in it.
Yeah.
But then you just your Uber in it, like.
But that's a playing on the comedic side of things, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
And
but-
using it as a prop.
Because people that say they got money have cars in the books. So okay,
Visible.
cool. So that we'll do that. That's easy scene to do in the ends.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So I just raised 100k.
100k in what?
You know,
Naira?
No, pounds, bro. Can you not see like where we're at right now, bro?
Yeah.
And then what do you say after that?
How?
Is that
One?
quick? Is that too quick?
Or is that
Oh,
too?
remember, it's only
yeah,
60
like-
seconds in it, so that's like
Yeah,
20
that-
seconds
That's
already.
like 20 seconds. Yeah.
So that's already,
that's
like,
calm.
enough.
Yeah, that's calm.
Cool. So we got a car behind. I like the fact that we're going to stand outside someone else's car, and then it looks like it's not our car.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I like that already. So cool. I just got 100k. Yo, how? Like what? Lira? What? Dollars?
Yeah.
No, pounds. And then you can you not see how man's living, bro?
Yeah.
Can you not see how man's living? And then I'll say, bro, these are not your cars, bro. Don't stunt on me. How have you got your 100k?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
How have you got 100k?
All right.
And then you go, you know what? Since you keep asking, let me break it down for you. What I did, I got a deck together for the concept. I got 500 people to download the app that I'm looking to make. So I had data, and I went to an angel syndicate called AIS, and I spoke to some angel investors, and they valued the business at $500,000. So I gave away 20% for 100k. It took me 8 weeks. Rah, you're making it sound so simple. Can I do it with 50k as well, or 250k? The next thing you say, you know what? It's based on actually you getting some data. If you want to raise money quickly, you need to have data.
Or follow Blocks to Bags to learn more.
Then
Sick.
That's
Sick.
it.
Or alternatively, here's what I thought about how you're doing it, and this is where
We have to drag that out, but that's just our first one.
that's your first
Yeah.
one, and then sometimes you'll write it, and then you'll think of different ways to do it. So as you're talking, I thought of a different way to do it, which is where you spoke about 500 people downloading that app, so you've got data, which allows you to raise money from people, innit? what you're describing is a way that's more efficient than previous ways where people are cold calling.
1,000, 2,000 people trying to.
So that could, something like that directly addresses the pain point that a lot of people who are looking to raise money may have, basically. So it may be a situation where, once again, we may need a different. So I haven't thought of it with the hook. We will need a hook, but it might be a scenario where someone has just got off the phone and they're trying to raise the money, and then the person who's got the knowledge is like, I can't lie, you're on a long team, bro. I just raised 100K right now
With no phone calls.
It's like, how do you do it? WhatsApp me, innit? Just send the money into my account. Look, no, but I've spent all day on phone calls and blah blah blah. Bro, you're working hard, not smart. Listen, all I did is I created a deck. I got 500 people to download the app, and I marketed to those 500 people. But what it also gave me is data that I could show a brand and say, look, 500 people are using the app. They were happy with it. They sent me the 100K. Look,
Boom. And then do you have to go that question you asked, which is, how do you know this?
Yeah. How do you find all of this out? Like, who told you about this?
I follow Blocks of Bags and BrickzWithTipz.
There you go.
Come on.
There you go.
And that's it. It's just that, and you just keep making different variations
Of that, basically. So yeah, sometimes focusing on people's pain point where they're not doing things correctly is always good as well.
Nah, you were clean with it as well, man. I can't lie. I can't lie. Clean.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do some practicing and stuff like that
And
around it.
also to get around the whole role play of it, just do. It's almost nice to do stuff that you might do as well, that you might do anyway. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
You see, like how I was just like, what are you talking about? I just raised 100K on my phone here. Look, do you get what I'm trying to say? Stuff like how you would act. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It always makes it easier as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah.
I like that. So yeah, I think the summary for me on those bits definitely are having like rather than, cause I sometimes go heavy with it and have like content library 500 things and it's overwhelming to start with. So actually just starting a fresh list and just putting just 20 scenarios, even just 10 scenarios, just get going with that. Get going with that, play around with it.
Yeah.
If you ever got a scenario where you've got too many points that it's not going to fit into 60 seconds, make it 2 videos.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just the importance of less is more as well, and being succinct. And sometimes you don't need to use we come from these industries and professions where there's so much jargon around investing and SEIS and this and sometimes you just need to break it down and just keep it simple.
The thing is, it has to be high level for socials. If you try and go granular, A, it's not going to fit within the 60 seconds, and B, it's not going to be as entertaining. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So we can drill deep in the comments, but this is the content, innit?
But I like that. There's scenarios that we can do with 100K.
Yep.
So that's like a quick family round, that one. That's not really a big thing and it's tangible, especially with those coming in. Then there's, I think, scenarios around like getting your first client. There's things around like what to do with staff when you're having staff issues. Like I can see so many scenarios around that.
Yeah.
I see scenarios of dealing with angry investors, because that might just be like a funny just Saturday thing or like a Sunday thing that's not too serious.
Yeah.
And then I think like scenarios around like why people's first event flops. Because bare people do events.
Yeah.
Their first launch night, their first customer thing. Like, God, I've got so many scenarios. Like we went to an event last weekend with people doing boxes and boxes were like packed. It's like there could have been so many comedy sitcoms from just stuff we see behind the scenes. So just when we're walking around, just having a little note tab of like,
just all the funny situations.
But like common problems I see, like there's things I see that happen all the time. That when I say back, people are like, oh. Those are scenarios I think will fly for us.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Sometimes when you've been working on what you do, you don't realize how much value you could add by telling someone something that you think is simple, basically. So yeah, that's the key thing.
And it starts with just finding ways to do it. So for writing for me it might be a bit harder, but just when I'm walking, showering, biking, whatever, just little voice notes.
Yeah.
Like just having a little folder called.
Send them my way, bro. Yeah, send them my way.
Simple things I wish everyone knew.
Yep. Facts. And I'm definitely going to start thinking about these things, because it's like, even some of the most simplest advice that we have, we take it for granted so much. Like, and even just seeing, as you said, like some of the stuff around events and not even oversubscribing or overselling your events. it's basic things that you take for granted, but the people need these gems.
Bro, I'd say our content has changed dramatically. Like this time last year, we might be making videos on stuff like joint borrower, sole proprietor, different things that just sound like jargon in it, and we're just talking to the camera. And it's good. It's good content. But a lot of the time we're talking to our audience. The key thing with socials is that you want to be talking to new audiences all the time. And we just have to scale it back quite a bit. Like we did a video which said that how much do I need to earn to buy a 350k house? This is something that we typically wouldn't make content about because we just assume that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And that's been like one of our, like we did that video about a month and a half ago, and I tell no lie, we're still getting followers from it.
I seen that one
Yeah,
pop up on my. I remember that video.
We're still doing like, it was a month and a half ago. We're still doing like 60 follows a day off that video alone. Like that video alone got us about 20k followers.
Love that.
Yeah, so yeah.
It's that work rate. Guys, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been your boy Bejay.
I'm your boy Seb.
And you're
Tayo, man.
And BrickzWithTipz has taken over the block today. Thank you so much for coming through, sir.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Guys, see you guys soon. And don't forget, we're leaving the comments and in the bio places you can connect with the community. And we hope to hear some stories in the next year of you guys getting on the property ladder.